Hello there, the story ninjas in the house. Well, listening ninjas, these stories created by Niki Daly, well, that's words and the pictures, about Thoko are so interesting. I'm sure everybody at home would love to listen. So go and fetch them. Right, and we'll share in story time together. My book is called Hooray, Thoko. And some of you may have heard about Thoko's adventures. Thoko is a fun young woman, just like many of you. She's kind-hearted and thoughtful. But let's find out what she gets up to in this story. And this one is called Thoko and a dog called Hope. Let's settle down and we'll find out. While in Thoko's backyard stood a small pine brook that Thoko loved to climb onto. Some of us may have a shed in our backyards, and we may be brave enough to climb up so that we can see a whole lot more. Well, from high up, Thoko could look into the neighbor's backyard. And in the new neighbor's backyard, Thoko noticed a dog tied to a packing case with a bit of rope. Let's have another closer look. Some of you are probably imagining what Thoko is feeling about what she sees. She also noticed that when the old dog barked, a man would come out of the house and shout, "Shut up, Brak!" Didn't even seem to have a proper name. And if it didn't stop barking, the man would give it a kick. Oh no! Its bony body looked like an old brown sack with holes in it. The skin around its neck, where the rope was tied, looked raw. Thoko didn't like what she saw. I'm thinking maybe you wouldn't have too. Well, when she told Mama and Gogo about the poor animal, Mama said, "Thoko, you shouldn't be spying on the neighbors." "I agree," said Gogo. "It's better to mind your own business." But now that Thoko had seen it, she felt absolutely sorry for this poor dog with no name. Well, when winter came, the dog with no name lay on a wet cement ground. It didn't even have energy to bark anymore. And Thoko wondered how anyone could be so cruel as the neighbor who shouted at it and kicked it and called it Brak. But it was no use talking to Mama or Gogo. And whenever she mentioned it, they would always say, "Thoko, keep this out of other people's business." Still, Thoko could not forget about the old dog. And at art class, remember, she was going to art class now, she drew a picture of the poor animal. Some of you who've heard the other stories will know that Belinda is her teacher. And Belinda asked about the dog. Anyway, Thoko told her the whole sad story. And Belinda said, "Well, people are not allowed to be cruel to animals, Thoko. Do you know that?" "But Mama and Gogo keep telling me to keep my nose out of other people's business." "I understand what your Mama says, Belinda, but animals can't talk, you know that. So we must make sure that they do not suffer." Well, Thoko looked at her picture, and tears just started welling up in her eyes. Anyway, Belinda said, "Listen, my darling, I'll talk to Mama and Gogo for you. There must be something we can do to help this poor animal." And there was. Well, Belinda explained to Mama that the Animal Rescue Service sends an officer to rescue dogs who are mistreated. Rescue dogs are fed and looked after and kept safe in kennels until someone else wants to take them home. Mama was still worried. What if the man finds out that it was us who called the animal rescue? He may be nasty to us. Well, not to worry. The animal rescue team don't tell bad people who had shared the news when good people report them. Are you sure? Gogo and Mama wanted to know. And Belinda was absolutely sure. She said, "Not to worry. Not to worry." Let's see what happens next. So it was decided that Belinda would let the Animal Rescue Services know about the dog next door. And the following week, a bakkie with Animal Rescue Services pulled up outside. A big man in a uniform got out and he went to the neighbor's front door. Oh gosh, can you have a look here? They're all standing at the window. They're wanting to see what's happening. Anyway, around the back, Thoko could see. Where was Thoko? top of the pandok in the backyard, where she could see everything happening in the neighbor's yard. "See," said the neighbor, trying to sound nice now. "I gave the dog water, and she has her own place to sleep." The rescue man bent down and felt the dog's bony, scrawny body. "This dog has been badly treated, sir, and it's starving too. So I'm taking her with me, and we're going to look after her properly. And I will also let the police know about these strange boxes I've seen in your house." "What do you mean?" growled the man in his nasty voice. "The boxes are filled with old clothes." "Old clothes in new computer boxes?" said the rescue man. "I don't think so." And from the kitchen, Mama and Gogo saw the rescue man gently place the dog with no name in the back of the bakkie. And no sooner had they gone when the police arrived. Oh my gosh. And inside the house, they found stolen computers and arrested the nasty neighbor with the big gruff voice. "Shoo," Gogo says. "Well, I'm so glad that this is the end of it." But it wasn't quite the end. Or, are you wanting to find out? Guess who adopted the dog? Belinda, the art teacher. She adopted the dog with no name and called the dog Hope. And on Saturdays, Belinda takes Hope to the art center, where the children get to see how well she is looking. And Hope always goes to Thoko first. So it is always a good thing to be observant. Yes, sometimes we have to be very mindful about putting our nose in other people's business, but sometimes there is a right way to help someone or an animal in trouble. So until next time, goodbye.